Hi, I'm Trace Williams. Thank you for joining me for What Do You Think? Today's episode, Thousands Upon Thousands Dead. Who is responsible? Who is responsible? Allow me to run a few scenarios past you, to which you decide where the responsibility lies. The first scenario should be very easy to determine responsibility. Jack places a combination of chemicals together which creates a lethal gas. He then intentionally exposes his neighbor to this gas, knowing the outcome would be the death of his neighbor. Is this person guilty of a crime? If so, for what crime shall he be incarcerated? Pretty simple scenario, right? Scenario number 2. Jack has a friend, Alex, that had developed the combination. Jack asks Alex if he would like to test the gas. Alex gives Jack the permission to use the gas on Jack's neighbor. Both Jack and Alex know the potential outcome would be the death of Jack's neighbor. When the test is quote-unquote successful, as it has created the desired result, has a crime been committed? Were there multiple crimes committed? If so, what crimes, and who is responsible for committing those crimes? Is there evidence for an element of conspiracy to commit said crime? Scenario 3. A husband and a father named Roger, the head of the household, hears of scenario number 2 and tells his family that under no circumstances are they permitted to come in contact with Jack. He also informs the authorities of the alleged crimes, which begins an investigation. Jack, as described above, just happens to live 2 doors away. Unfortunately, one of the children defies the father and comes in contact with Jack, and is intentionally exposed to the gas. The result was fatal to the child. Who is responsible for the crime? Is Roger guilty of a crime? If so, what crime? Is Alex, who developed the gas as described above, guilty of a crime? Is Jack responsible for a crime? Again, is there evidence of an element of conspiracy? As I build upon the scenarios, the complexity of the crimes shall increase, but continue to use the simple logic from scenarios 1 and 2 in order to determine the potential crimes of the following scenarios. Scenario 4. Shall we combine scenarios 2 and 3 and add a small twist? After an investigation, we learn that Alex was paid by another to create the gas for nefarious reasons of his own. As the one behind the money, we will call him David, which paid for the creation of the gas, committed a crime? If so, what crime? Scenario 5. We now learn that David had originally paid someone else to create the gas. That operation was stopped by an outside individual. David then diverted the money to Alex for David's nefarious reasons. Did David commit a crime by paying someone to create the deadly gas in the first place? Although unsuccessful, there was an attempt made to create the gas. Can one create a gas with intent to use and not be charged with a crime unless the gas was actually used for the reason of the creation? Building upon the first 5 scenarios, we move to the 6th. We learn through our investigation that David, learning that the gas works, pays the creator of the gas, Alex, to release the gas in a crowded area, causing thousands of deaths. Deaths that include the remaining family members of Rogers listed in scenario 3. Roger is now the only family member that remains. The first question, is Roger guilty of a crime? Was he negligent in his responsibility to protect his family? I hope you were able to follow all of the scenarios in order to determine the crimes committed and by whom. Question number 2. Of what crime or crimes is Jack listed in scenario number 2, guilty of? Number 3, what crime or crimes is Alex, as listed in scenario 3, guilty? Number 4, what crime or crimes is David guilty of? By using this logic and your own discernment, do your own research behind the development of a certain virus that has caused thousands upon thousands of deaths worldwide, creating a pandemic and economic chaos globally. Answer these questions. Who is Jack? Who is Alex? Who is Roger? And who is David? Someone is responsible for the mayhem. The question is, shall they now be held accountable? Should it matter if the person or people responsible were listed as friend or foe? Dig deep and do not let outside influence to determine the outcome of your investigation. The next to last question for now is, are the ones covering the story complicit of any crime if they knowingly stopped people from taking an antidote for the stated virus? I know what my research has shown me. Good luck with yours, detectives. My final question for now, what do you think? I'm Trace Williams. Thank you for joining me. God bless you, and have a safe and wonderful day.